Hello guys, I'm back for another video and today we're talking about with Deku was the Prince of Wrath. So in the last video Deku, after getting ready for the party, they made it there as they started, partying till the night ends. So, while they were partying, Izuku decides to, follow Bakugo. Bakugo decides to, ditch the party and go to the beach. So, after a bit of talking and almost kissing, well, they heard an explosion as they see Uriel, Azriel, and Michael, which Izuku did. But in the process, Izuku was, let's just say he was cursed. So, after bringing him into the local hospital of the, island, well, both of Izuku's parents, being, Inko Midoriya and Azazel, helped Izuku by using a special spell that, expelled the, curse away. So, after leaving, well, it's basically going to be this episode. So, yeah, so let's talk about what happens next. So, Izuku wakes up, and Izuku sees right beside him is Bakugo. Bakugo wakes up as she says this. Izuku, you're okay? She starts, crying as she says this. Oh, Izuku, please don't do that ever again. And Izuku says this. Wait, Bakugo, what happened? As Bakugo said this. You, you used that power. You, no, you were knocked out after you used that and looked like you were sick. Izuku says this. Don't worry, Bakugo, I'm okay. It wasn't that bad. As she says this, Izuku, never use that power ever again. I don't want you to get hurt again. Please, just please. Izuku says this. Ugh, what time is it? As she says this, oh yeah, we're going to be going back to Japan. Izuku says this. Wait, my bags. As she says this, don't worry, I, well, packed all of your things. As Izuku says this, thank you, Bakugo. As she says this, no problem. She smiles. As Izuku says this, alright, we should just go now. As they start going back to Japan, when they made it there, well, Principal Nezu brings an announcement to LUA. Apparently, there's something, suspicious happening. So they need, heroes on deck immediately. Even heroes that are, well, they're basically students. Basically like Izuku and Bako, basically. So, after, well, after getting to the auditorium, which is where Principal Nezu is, Principal Nezu basically explains that there's, a situation brewing. Apparently, there's, a brand new group of villains. They're known as the, wait first, they're known as the All Destroyers, apparently. As Bako says to herself, seriously, All Destroyers? That sounds really cheesy. As for Nezu, Nezu explains that their, group is a mix of, Yakuza members and some of the most, influential, villain families ever, including ones that are from the Italian mafia. As Izuku, it tells him, so, if we beat them, why are we, here then? Basically us, heroes in training. As Principal Nezu says this, because you really are strong. As Izuku says this, wait, what? As Principal Nezu explains that the brand new generation of heroes should learn how to fight these powerful and dangerous villains firsthand. So, that is why Principal Nezu called all of these, students. So, Bako said this, so we just need to deal with them? This will be fun. So, after Nezu tells them, where their hideout is, well, they started going back to, their, homes. Izuku gets back to his apartment, and Izuku sees, his, manticore babies. Izuku says this, oh, there you are, you cute little manticores. Izuku starts, shaking their faces, as the pet sitter says this, you are going to double my pay. Damn, the, those, the litter box. It almost felt like almost felt like something dead was there. Azuka says this. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I kind of forgotten to tell you about, their nuclear shites. As he says this. Okay. Where's my pay? Izuku says this. Oh yeah. After going into his pocket, Izuku grabs this, credit card, and basically, no, what do you call it? Like, going to his bank account basically and get some money. After paying his, pet sitter, he says this. uh, Finally, freedom! He basically gets out of there instantly. As Izuka says this. Okay. So, his manticore, pet started, surrounding Izuku. As Izuku gets a knock at the door. As Izuku looks, Izuku sees Bakugo. As Bakugo said this. Hey Izuku, me and my mother, we have some leftover pa. As she sees the manticore, well, pups or cubs or whatever you're gonna call them, as she says this. Whoa, what are those things? Azuka says this. These are manticores. I found them in the, in UA's, underground cave. As she says this. Wait, UA has an underground cave? Azuka says this. Yeah, apparently these manticore babies don't have parents. Or at least, used to have. Ashi says this. What do you mean by that? Ashi says, Izuku says this. Well, after after Izuku basically explains about, how Izuku found them, except for the part about, the manticore babies basically just eating the faces of, the lunch lady last time. Ashi says this. Oh, those poor things. Izuku says this. Don't worry, I've been taking care of them for a while now. As she says this. Anyway, here's some leftover pasta. Izuku says this. Thank you. She blushes as she says this. "No, it's nothing. Anyway, I'll just be going. After Izuku closes the door, Izuku starts eating the pasta. Izuku says this. Mmm, carbonara. Not bad. After eating, he starts going to sleep as it's the next day. And this is the day where they're going to be finding this slash Yakuza group, which is known as the Old Destroyers, which is it sounds like the most cheesy name that I can think of for this, for this what if, the most cheesiest out of all of them. So, yeah. So, Izuku starts going off with Bakugo and the rest of his classmates in Class 1B and Class 1 C. So wait for a second. After they made it to the, hideout of, this, yakuza group or mafia group, mix, Izuku says this. So I'm guessing that's the place. As, Nezu says this. Correct. So, you just need to bust in. Izuka says this. Well, that will be easy. As well, Monoma says this. So what they're gonna be doing? As Izuku says this. Watch this. As Izuku basically touches the ground and creates a like one of those like what do you call them? Like a howitzer. And if you don't know what's a howitzer, it's basically like an artillery cannon used for used by the military apparently. Just imagine one of those um well um just imagine a sniper rifle but 10 times as bigger and has like well a artillery shell as like ammo basically. So Izuku aims it at the base. As Izuku says this, fire. As it shoots out instead of a normal looking shell, a missile shell, well instead it's a flaming skull which explodes and destroys half of the base. The villains, the Yakuza members, and also Overhaul were there. As he said this, what happened to our base? As they see Izuku, as Izuku says this, charge! As everybody starts going towards, the villains. So, Izuku starts charging towards, Overhaul first. Izuku makes his gauntlets and starts punching him right in the face. As he says this, "Ugh, damn, you're strong, but I am stronger." As he starts using his Overhaul quirk to basically create, it's like mech armor or whatever. Like, the one that you would see in, the anime. As he starts charging towards, Izuku, covered in this, earth armor, which Izuku just breaks out. And Izuku, creates his, golden wings. Izuku creates two Gatling guns. Izuku starts shooting towards, Overhaul. Overhaul is being overwhelmed. See what I did there? As Overhaul says this, you. What are these powers? Wait a minute. Are you like the brother of that? What's her name? Um, Wait for a second. Are you like the brother of of? God dang it! Wait. Are you the brother of Momo Yayorozu? Izuku says this. What? No, we're not even related. As he says this, doesn't matter. You're going to die anyway. As he starts turning his body, using his overhaul quirk to basically turn himself into a dragon. Izuku says this. Seriously, I've seen dragons that are even greater than you. As Izuku aims a large, terrifying, gun, which just imagine like a mix of a howitzer and a tank, cannon. And also, basically, it basically has on the side, it basically has mini guns on the side, basically. Izuku starts shooting it towards, Overhaul, which destroys the body of Overhaul's, dragon. The body of the Overhaul dragon, which Overhaul starts falling to the ground. As Overhaul says, "Ugh, did I seriously got beaten by a hero in training?" Izuku says this. Yep. So, what's going to happen to you? Oh yeah, you're going to Tartarus. As he says this. Well then, if I'm going to Tartarus, well, my boss is definitely gonna kick your ass. As Izuku says this. Wait, you have a boss? As he says this. Yeah, you probably know him. Son of Azazel. Izuku says this. Wait, no way. As a man wearing white robes and has a pure white hair with golden eyes as he says this. So we finally meet, son of Azazel. Izuku Midoriya. Or should I say Izuku Orei? As everybody says this. Izuku Orei? Most of the ones that didn't know, well, Izuku was a half demon. As he says this. You have disrupted. You have disrupt. I meant. What? You have annoyed me for the last time, Azazel's son. You're going to die like your pathetic brothers. Ezekiel says this. For a god, you really are not godlike. As he says this, silence! I am the one true god, and not these pathetic other gods. The ones from Japan, Greece, and the others. They're no longer considered as gods in my eyes. I consider them as fake copies. Now, pay with your life, you pathetic demon. As he creates a large, oversized spear, as he says this, it's time for you to pay for your birth. You pathetic, you disgusting union of a human and a demon. As Ezekiel says this, try and fight me then. After all, you call yourself a god, but you're not even a god in my eyes, or even others. You're nothing more than a tyrant. As he says this, shut the hell up! As he starts charging towards Izuku, wielding his spear. Izuku dodges it, and Izuku uses his spear end of his halberd and stabs him in the stomach. As he says this, why you? While Izuku was dodging his attacks, everybody else is basically capturing all of these villains and mafia members. So Baku's looking at the sky, seeing Izuku and Yahweh fighting. As Izuku says this, now take this. Izuku says this, creating as Izuku creates a large, like Izuku basically creates a fighter jet with Gatling guns as like the missile parts. Izuku rides it. As Izuku starts shooting Yahweh in the face. As Yahweh says this, God damn demonic weapons. Take this! As he throws the spear, as it destroys the, jet. Izuku, sorry about that. Izuku basically gets out of the jet before it can, crash land. Izuku, using his, wings, Izuku creates a dark wind, which slashes him a little bit, as he says this. Why you? As Izuku says this, take this, pestilent spear, as he shoots it towards the heart of Yahweh, which kind of hurts him a little bit, as he says this, "Ugh, you used one of the four horsemen's powers, you." Ezekiel says this, well then, allow me to use one of my other abilities then, as he says this, chains of heaven, as several chains appearing out of these golden portals. As he says this, what is this? As Zuko says this, it's a gift from Gilgamesh, but he was a bit prideful at the time, so at least I got this lovely present in exchange for his rudeness. As he says this, why you are using the chains of heaven, the weapon that Gilgamesh used too. As Izuku says this, yeah, blah blah blah. As Izuku says this, it's time for your end, Yahweh. Your tyranny is over. As he says this, you. As Izuku says this, you what? It's time for your end, Yahweh. It's over. Izuku using his axe end, and lops off the head of Yahweh, decapitating him. His head rolls to the ground, splattering. Ezekiel, well, well, after untying him with his chains, his body falls down to the ground, and you hear a snap and crackle down, seeing the dead body of Yahweh. So, yeah, that will be the end of this series. So, yeah, let's talk about what happened. Well, let's see what happened in the future. Basically, the epilogue. So, Ezekiel is now the Prince of Wrath. Or should I say King of Wrath? Because he's now married to Bakugo. Because of that, well, he's now considered, wait for a second, as a king. So, Ezekiel also became the number one hero of Earth as well. People praising him even though he's a demon. Several of these mystical creatures, like for example Tengu, Oni, started rising up and becoming, well, normal citizens of the normal world. Heroes and villains, well, they basically disbanded because, well, the only heroes, or at least, well, hero-ish people are Izuku, Bakugo, and the rest of Class 1A and Class 1B. Their, well, children and their children's children will become, well, the brand new heroes of the future. So, yeah. So, Izuku and Bakugo basically get two children. One was a boy and the other one was a girl. One of them has similar traits to Izuku, being a half demon. For the other, he has like a similar quirk to Izuku. I meant a similar quirk to Bakugo, which he's able to create explosions. But the explosions, well, they're color black instead of like the usual, normal explosion color. Both of them become great and powerful heroes. Even Ida decided to become, well, the principal of, UA. So, yeah, this will be the ending of What If Deku was the Prince of Wrath. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. But before you leave, guys, well, I'm soon going to be making a post, there on my community tab. I meant my community tab, saying that I'm going to be, that's where you're going to be picking a brand new what if. So, yeah, but unlike, my usual what ifs, polls, well, you have to pick two because, well, the third one is going to be a what if called What If Deku was in Fate. So, yeah, you just need to pick, well, two what ifs. Any of them, by the way. So, yeah. So, goodbye.